Hello guys, good evening. I'll be covering the introduction this evening. Web design for beginner, totally for newbie. So I want you guys to please put your mind. It's just some terminology that we need to know when we are designing a website. Now, introduction, how the web work and terminology. Web pages. Web pages are simple documents that can be displayed on our web browser, such as Chrome, Firefox, sometimes called pages. Such document is written in HTML language. HTML, hypertext markup language. We have the website, which is a collection of web pages that are accessible via a public internet protocol network by referencing a unified resource locator URL which identify the site. A web server is a computer on the internet that help to host your website. So this web server host your website, keep your web pages. Search engine such as Google, Bing, etc. help you to find other web pages easily. So which means that Google is a website that help you to find other websites easily through using keywords and the rest, using keywords and tag. But sometimes Google do restrict its user from some websites. So we won't go into that. Web browser. These are applications that help us to view and access web pages on the internet, e.g. the Internet Explorer and our Chrome. We will quickly go through domain and hosting. It is very common for newbie to get confused between a domain name and a web hosting. To simplify, when you try to have a business venture, you need a business name for identification, right? And a shop space to house your equipment or machinery. Now, we can say a domain name is like your venture name and your shop is like the hosting. The domain name is like the venture name. It is like the address of the company, something that identify the company, an identity for the company. And now the shop is what people can come to get your services, your offer, which is his office, which is his shop, and it is like the hosting. Now when you have your web pages are hosted in the web server. A domain name can only be registered with a domain registrar, e.g. Namecheap, GoDaddy. This gives you sole ownership and right to the name of your site. Most times there are some domain name we would like to use, but because someone has used it before, someone has the ownership of the domain, will not be able to use it. So it is always good when you register a domain so that you can have a sole ownership over it. A web hosting usually referred to a web server, just another computer in the internet grid that has the capability to stay online 24/7 and has larger memory space and greater processor power. Now these companies make use of mainframe computers. These mainframe computers are different from our microcomputer. They have greater processor power, they have higher, larger memory space. Now this web hosting provider normally rent out their web server and network connection to the end user or reseller. So now designer and the programmer. So every website has a front end, client side, and back end, server side. Now we can see that on the client side we have the microcomputer, in the middle we have the internet, and on the other side we have our mainframe computer that is standing as the server side. Now when the client, your computer, make a request for a web page, that information is processed by a web server. If the request is a server-side script, PHP, before the information is returned to the client, the script is executed on the server and the result of the script is returned to the client. Now, once the client receives the return information from the server, if it contains a client-side script like JavaScript, your computer browser executes it through DOM. It executes that script before displaying the web pages. Now a programmer is concerned about the server side. He is most interested in the functionality of the site. He is required to know how to code using either PHP, ASP, MySQL, Java, and other programming languages to create dynamic pages. On the other side, a web designer is concerned about the client side, what the user sees. So he's not interested on the functionality. He's interested in how the web look or how it is rendered on the browser. He may be required to know some little of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Now, not Java. There's difference between JavaScript and Java. A web designer skilled in HTML and CSS can produce a static website or a website with some interactive front-end elements such as drop-down menus. So if you are a designer and you are skilled in HTML and CSS, you'll be able to create a website for a company, for a portfolio. A company can get you to design their website, so you can use HTML and CSS to design their website. You don't need PHP, you don't need MySQL, you don't need any other complicated language. Now, since the core of this course is using WordPress to design our website, WordPress is the most used CMS on the internet. We have 17 million users, 17 million websites that make use of WordPress these days. So WordPress is very easy. It gives you room to customize your website. It gives you room to edit. It does not allow you to start creating the website from the beginning. We have template, we have plugin. Within 24 hours, you can easily create a website that will perform some complex function. Okay. Now, a web developer are somehow in between the designer and programmer. They virtually know the necessary languages and skills to bring a raw web to a finished website. So the developer, when you say someone is a web developer, they are in between the designer and the programmer. They are neither a designer nor a programmer. They know part of the designer skills. They also know part of the programmer skills. So WordPress is simply a content management system, CMS, created by web developers. It is also an open source software. Besides blogging, you can use WordPress to build and run powerful websites of any type. I mean any type. You can use it to create a social media website. You can use it to create a dating site website, teaching, learning management website, and the rest. WordPress is a software script built on PHP and MySQL. So when you want to go into core WordPress developing, you will need to build your knowledge on PHP and MySQL. So wordpress.com versus wordpress.org. So wordpress.com gives user a free hosting platform, but you or your client cannot monetize your site nor sell it. So we have a lot of people saying that they are using WordPress, but what they are using is a free hosting platform of WordPress. They don't need to buy a domain, they don't need to buy a hosting server. What they just need to do is to register, and they give them a wordpress.com, but they cannot monetize it, they cannot sell it, they can't do anything on it. In fact, they can't do e-commerce on it. Why we have the wordpress.org, which enable you to install a blog or website in 1 minute through a self-hosted web host. In essence, you can download WordPress software from wordpress.com and take it to your web host and install it there and start building your website. So there are two different things. We have the wordpress.com and the wordpress.org. If you want to design software for your client, we'll be using wordpress.org, and shortly I'll be showing you guys how you can install the software, the WordPress software, in your server. Conclusion: I believe by now we should be familiar with all these web jargons and are ready for action. So watch out for the next short video on things to know and consider before designing a website for a client. Thank you very much. Stay blessed.